Illinois right now.
I will point out that sea otters are technically a weasel, so I'd be okay with that. I love sea otters, man. Cliff, when we were talking about it, you had an involuntary shiver. Are you cold, or was it? Do you have like a reaction to swans? Do we need to give you a content warning?
I have a
You know?
natural enmity towards swans.
Well, I
It's true.
understand it. Yeah.
But he's not even joking.
No, and it's mutual, right?
Seriously?
Like, it's not just that I don't like them; they also hate me.
Not just geese, because geese are jerks to everybody.
I cannot tell you how many boat trips we've taken where the swans will actively come towards the boat and hiss at Lampe.
True.
I swear to God, for real.
So that was a shiver because you hate swans.
It's only because they hate me. I mean, like that's.
People talk about having spirit animals, and they're the anti-spirit animal of the Lampe, the swan.
Yeah, the only thing that Cliff hates more than the large waterfowl is the catfish.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a fan of catfish. I think they taste terrible. They're basically trash fish. So.
Yeah, but that's why when you catch one, you point it at him and watch what happens.
Gross.
You can't do that to our Cliffy.
It's all gross.
It's all gross.
Nature's terrible.
So also, guys, just in case you were wondering, you can't point a hairdryer in your nose and cure the coronavirus with that.
What?
Yeah,
I know.
But I have this little heater that I was
although
my nostrils.
Although that Florida lawmaker was convinced that would work, he also told people, in addition to his little speech about how you could kill the coronavirus by putting a blow dryer up your nose, he said we should all take ozone baths, and that will help kill the virus as well. So there you go.
I gotta assume that Gwyneth Paltrow is making out like a bandit during all this.
Oh God, I knew you were going to bring up Gwyneth Paltrow. She's just the worst, dude.
Kat and I were having this discussion because we just watched the Royal Tenenbaums.
Fine movie.
Which is a fine movie. And so we were discussing the casting of that, and we agreed that was kind of the only movie that we really liked Gwyneth Paltrow in. And I was explaining to her that her appearance in Endgame was probably the one moment in that whole 3.5 hour movie where I was snapped out of the movie on my first screening because I was like, ugh, Gwyneth Paltrow.
She's just the worst. You know, you know what I like about her? I like when people call her the left Alex Jones because she sells weird supplements.
Yeah,
and she's a wackadoo, you know. But yeah.
Did you watch her appearance on that show? John Favreau's little cooking show that he does.
No.
He was cooking with her and was talking about when they appeared in Spider-Man Homecoming together, and she's like, "I wasn't in that," and he's like, "Yes, you were. I was in scenes with you."
I mean, I know you filmed for approximately 20 minutes for that one scene at the end, but
when she was on Kimmel, he bought a bunch of shit off of Goop and showed it to her, and basically the bit was, look at how ridiculous the shit is you're selling. Defend yourself. It was really funny.
Well, I mean, honestly, she should be defending herself for promoting Mario Batali for so long when he was operating a rape room over in the Spotted Pig. I mean,
dude,
she has some crap to answer for in the restaurant world. That's all I have to say. Sorry. Sorry, too real for you guys.
Let's see. So when are we going to do Picard? Cliff, do you want to join?
Wait. We haven't covered devs through episode 4 yet.
I haven't watched episode 5 yet.
4.
I thought episode 5 just came out.
Yeah, I know, but I haven't seen it yet. So.
All right. Well, I want to stream Picard live together. I want to watch Picard with my buddies.
Well, we should do that. Let me get my phone out. Do
you want to just do it during tomorrow's show? Can we get an hour between 11 and noon, or is that too long?
Great, wouldn't it? Let's take a look. So what time is it now in wherever the hell you people are?
11:30.
It's 11:30 right now. Okay, so if we just make tomorrow from we can totally do it tomorrow. So tomorrow's show is going to be the Picard Watch Together show.
That's right.
I'll put on headphones and I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's the plan. Everybody wears their headphones.
And I'll put headphones in my headphones, you know?
What I figured I could do is I could play it up to a title screen or something, because what everybody's going to want to do is they're going to want to all watch it so we all get some buffer. And I'll pause on a screen and do it like for anybody watching, a 3, 2, 1 countdown on the screen. Unpause it, let it run for like 1 second, and then shut the screen off. So an audience could sync up, and then in theory I could do a screen share like halfway through or something just to help people get like synced back up. I don't know anything about
every once in a while we'll just put up a time hack, and say, okay, we're at 22:54 now.
Oh, you know what we might be able to do if I was to watch it on the streaming box? I might actually be able to share the media thing, but like get a time code out of that onto the screen.
Maybe.
I'll look at that.
Maybe. That's a cool idea. But you can't show any of the show or play any of the audio. Otherwise,
but I mean, all I want is I just want like a paused still so I can press play so people know where we're at. Because you want a buffer, because if any of us lags or whatever.
Yeah.
Although that show does have like those pseudo commercial breaks. It's
true.
So in the fall, the University of Michigan is supposed to be hosting one of the presidential debates.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And I've been talking, I'm on a task force there preparing for that. And one of the things we're talking about is how do you do watch parties for the presidential debate. So I'm taking notes on our crazy Picard watch party plan that you guys are just going through so that we can host a presidential debate.
So we're beta testing for Trump.
That's right. Picard will be the beta test for the presidential debate in the fall.
Well, it makes, considering, we have millions of subscribers, you could just use the infrastructure that we use,
That's true.
Fling it out to Twitch and YouTube Live and
the only thing that I can think of that has been a greater disaster on my TV than Picard is anything involving our president.
It's not necessarily a geek show, but have you been watching that Tiger King documentary?
Oh, yeah.
That everybody's watching?
I have not watched it yet.
What did you think?
Go ahead, because they were crazy 2 days ago, and I'm like, this sounds awful and horrible, and they're like, it's beautifully horrible. Yeah.
Let him talk, Chris.
I immediately went to the dark web and started shopping around for my own tiger to have in my house, right? Like that is a crazy subculture. I mean, I've often maintained you can be geeky about anything, right?
Yeah.
And that there are people who are geeky about apparently big cats and keeping them in cages. They're all loony, every single one of them.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed because after Rob, are you caught up?
Yes.
All right, so
I think. What episode are you on?
Oh my goodness!
Oh, you finished it?
Yeah. So there's an episode where there's a whole episode surrounding what happened to Carol's husband, and after that episode, I feel like that's kind of the peak. Because then the rest of it is kind of the wrap up on the murder for hire, which is not spoilers because the murder for hire is like in the bio of the show. And that's actually kind of less interesting because that just is like a bunch of stupid people doing something stupid.
Right.
Yeah. The second and third episodes were the best.
More Fargo.
Oh my God. So you remember how when we talked about this, I talked about Big Cat Rescue in Tampa?
Yeah, that's the place.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you were literally talking about the people from Big Cat Rescue.
Yes, that's the place.
Yeah.
I've been there, man. I gave him like $200 for a segment of Fence.
Yep.
Like I've seen these tigers in person.
They are abused animals.
You have been duped.
But they seem nice. They seem like they're taking care of these animals.
See, that's what good con men do. Good con men don't seem shitty. They seem nice.
Oh, I should have known it was in Tampa. And Tampa is just filled with con men. I feel so stupid.
I told you that was the place.
It's Franny awake. Franny!
You know how you thought we were helping the cats? We aren't.
We were keeping them in tiny boxes. He's gone. He's gone.
We just blew Devona's mind. Like we broke Debona.
That's truly choice. He's gone now.
I thought it was a well done documentary. You're right. The back half of it does lag, but it's a fun topic and just, man,
Yeah, the first 2/3 of it is the part that's legit.
I woke Franny up. My poor daughter, she's sleeping, and I'm like, Franny, you know, Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, we were conned.
They're not good.
And she's like, "Get the hell out of my room."
Because I love, you know, that was such a fun thing for us to do, and we would go there whenever we'd go to Tampa and visit my family. And
if it makes you feel better, there's a chance you didn't pay to have the cats put in cages. You could have just been paying for one of the orgies.
Oh my God. I mean, so here's the thing. When you go to a place like Big Cat Rescue, you're like, there's a weird edge to this place.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Big Cat Rescue?
Yes.
Turns out
you're on streaming, just so you know. Come over here if you actually want to be on. This is Franny, everybody. Say hi.
Hi, Franny.
They're all saying hi. That's Cliff Lampe over at the University of Michigan.
We remember when you were born. It's weird to see that you can talk now.
Yeah, she can talk and walk. So Big Cat Rescue in Tampa?
Yes.
It's a con.
Wait, what?
It's a con.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Remember how nice it was and how cool it was?
They have such big enclosures.
They have huge enclosures and
How
sweet
is it
animals.
a con?
To be fair, they were the nicest of the places, but they are all horrible places.
They're horrible places. So go to Netflix. There's a documentary called Tiger King. Tiger King. And it's about the Big Cat Rescue people. They had like orgy there, and they treated the cats terribly. It's such a Tampa operation. It's a con.
The mob's gonna be involved.
Well, yeah. All right. So
one of the most vivid memories from my childhood is I went and saw at the Gatorland Zoo, also in Florida. I watched a crocodile jump up and eat raw chicken off of clotheslines. And
sorry, she was just telling me about how when her and her boyfriend are driving around Texas and they see these big cat, exotic animal parks. She's like, this place is wrong. It's not like Big Cat Rescue in Tampa.
Oh, there's like 4 of them that the show tracks, and that's probably the one that's just over the border into Oklahoma.
I'm so disappointed.
Show, man. We don't believe in anything anymore.
Like Rod said, it was the nicest of the terrible places.
Oh, man, of course it's a con. It's Tampa.
Of course, it's also the one where they allege that once the cats aren't cubs anymore, that he euthanizes them, so he doesn't have to pay.
That's the South Carolina place.
No, that's not this place. This place had some ancient, grizzled old veteran cats.
No, that was the one in Florida was the one that was run by Carol. She's the one that supposedly.
I know. I bought a postcard from Carol.
Yeah, she supposedly, according to the documentary, The Conspiracy, and again, it's all who the hell knows what's real, but she supposedly ground up her husband in a meat grinder and fed him to her cats 20 years ago.
Or buried him underneath the septic tank.
Remember the weird lady who we bought the postcard from? The long hair for the
gift shop lady?
The gift shop lady, yeah. So apparently the accusation is she ground up her husband and fed him to the tigers and lions and servals. And
you just have to watch it, man.
What?
We have to watch this documentary.
Okay.
We have no idea. To be clear, we don't know what's real, and the documentary has no whatever. Who knows?
These are just documentary like that too. I like to follow up with what all those people said afterwards. So I spent a little useless time last night reading kind of everybody's defense of themselves.
Yeah.
I feel like my childhood is over.
The guy who made the documentary. There's the guy who made this documentary, and then there's the guy who made the documentary on the show. And apparently, the guy who made the documentary, like that they're filming, was also pretty scuzzy. And there's a whole bunch of stuff about what he was up to, and the show really didn't get into him, but he was not cool either. Like everybody connected to this is dirty.
Man, this is terrible.
That's good TV right there.
The thing that I thought was really weird is that every single person on that show has like these drama shots, like slow motion, camera pans with professional lighting and stuff. So these guys all signed on to do this. Yep.
Yes,
oh yeah.
I'd hang
out with Joe Exotic. That guy seemed cool.
He's crazy.
I'm with you.
Careful, he has a seductive charisma about him.
That's because they didn't ruin your childhood memories.
No, but it wasn't until they showed the John Oliver clip that I realized, oh my God, I remember that.
Yep.
I remember his presidential run.
Yep, we saw that.
Yep. Anyway.
Turns out it's a way more interesting story than you could have ever dreamed.
So much better than Picard.
Much better than Picard. There were no space orchids.
It was better than Cats. I will see it again and again.
I'm not watching Cats again. I did my once.
I'm sorry. I'm not even going to do that to myself. I like me too much.
I like musicals. I like to sing.
I like musicals. Way more than Christine, my wife. She cannot stand them. She liked Hamilton, but that was it. You know?
I'm in her camp. Not a fan.
Yeah.
See, I really like it when people are so full of emotion that the only way that they can express their emotion is to sing. And then sometimes they sing so hard that the only way that they can express their emotion is through dance.
So I will take it back. There is one musical that my wife loved unabashedly, and I liked quite a bit too, and that was Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, the TV show. So
good. Some good songs in that show sometimes.
There's some great songs.
I was a big fan of Cop Rock back in the day.
I never watched that.
I watched the pilot.
I'm still kind of pissed off that the Super Bowl Shuffle won like a Tony or an Emmy or something. You know, it's like that was not good.
See, I don't like musicals, like Broadway musicals, but I like when TV shows break into musical performances, like the Buffy musical episode.
Well, that was fantastic. You know,
this week's episode of The Magicians was their once per season musical episode.
I love The Magicians, man. I love that show so much. It's like the most Canadian show in Canada town.
This is the last season, though, right?
Yep, they're done.
Yep. Go out on top, baby. Go out on top.
It was a crazy show.
I am okay with it. It is one of the 20 shows that I will put on and then immediately forget that it's on because I'm reading Reddit and then being sad about whatever the thing is that's making me sad.
Really? It's one of those shows that I actually preserve for when I'm on a plane or able to just watch and just do that, you know. So
I've probably at any given time only got 4 or 5 shows that make it that high. Right now, I'm paying attention to Picard because it's just so horrible that like I guess it's masochism.
You do hate yourself, don't you?
I do. I got issues.
Yeah, it's grim.
It's
so grim.
All right, let's see. We got a couple minutes left unless we want to run off and talk to our families and watch episodes of Tiger King and reevaluate our life choices.
I can't believe this. This is so embarrassing. Anyway, yeah. No, seriously, we gave them like $200 because they were like raising money for a new fence around the property.
And if you watch the show, they're making millions of dollars a year in donations, and it's all really sketchy.
Well, I just figured it was expensive to feed the damn animals, right? But if I knew they were just feeding the workers they don't like to them, I mean.
Well, that was why Joe Exotic was so smart because he was the one that was getting leftover food from like the Walmart, like stale food, and then turning around and selling it in his restaurant.
Wow, that's a scam, and he's not from Florida.
It's a great way to cut down food costs, though.
But he's not from Florida, to be clear.
No, he's Oklahoma.
No, he's Oklahoma.
I don't believe it. I'm having trouble believing.
I did like the cocaine guy and his like that guy seems just shady. Like nothing he did seemed shady, just he seemed shady.
They all did. Have you seen all the way through the finale of the dude on the jet ski? That's so great. You'll love when you get there.
Well, there has to be a jet ski if Florida, Oklahoma, and Texas are involved. There's probably a tiger on a damn jet ski.
So Rob promised me that we could talk about my D&D game that I'm still planning to run virtually. So I've gotten a lot of advice on Roll20. Say again.
So if you can screen share a tablet, like just with a drawing program, you can just draw the map, and you can use that. Like you use that as a hangout, right? You can do /rolls, like even in Google or something. You can just like roll D20 into Google.
Yeah, you can literally type in roll D20.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So you could share.
I use that actually during the game when I'm casting sleep spells or anything with multiple dice. I just type it in.
You can type in roll 4d6.
Yeah.
You can type in whatever.
Well, I mean, so that gets into how much do I care if the players are cheating on their dice rolls or not, and I don't care that much.
What?
Personally, as a DM, like,
wait, you're still playing with these guys, right? They're cheaters.
They are, in various and sophisticated ways, but so am I. And I think the thing with D&D is that it's a narrative that you're all telling together, right? And the dice just kind of are a mechanism in that narrative. I don't think anybody wants to ruin the narrative overtly.
That is so not true. Wasn't there like friendships destroyed over pretend eggs?
Well, strained for sure.
Yeah, not destroyed, but strained. And it wasn't eggs plural. It was one Pegasus egg in particular.
I hope that person doesn't see this episode.
They won't. It's. I mean, I'm thinking of using the Roll20 system. Like I've been getting a lot of feedback on that, including from like the 12-year-old kid of a friend of ours. And the thing that's nice about it is that they do kind of a fog of war on the maps. So they'll only show you the amount of the dungeon you've explored. So it's basically a multi-layer image, and you have like a token layer so you can move monsters around, and they have a fog layer for the players and stuff like that.
So do you run that like just like on a tablet with a separate screen, or does it have built-in streaming tools? How does that?
I don't know. I would probably just run it in Zoom as a separate screen share.
If for no other reason, because then you could change your background for dramatic effect.
That's right. So I think it'll work. I'm interested. And then I've also been orchestrating a couple of drop-ins. Other friends of the group who are going to come in and be NPCs for like 5 or 10 minutes. Like just to say hi, and like suddenly, bam, here's your old friend who's now the zombie centaur that you have to battle.
The last game that I actually ran was very fun for me because it was all of the various 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old boys that are the children of our various friends. And I ran the whole thing as clones. And then just basically killed them constantly, and had the story like including a shoot where they came out of the new clones with a tattoo on their forehead with their number. And the whole game just became me killing them and them trying to figure out a way to sort of like multiplicity, or like the Burly Brawl from the Matrix. Like, how can you throw your bodies at the problem? And it was very fun to me because it was a one-off. So we knew that it was going to be, that I wasn't going to have them build characters. And then they all had the same character sheet, and I could literally just hand them new character sheets whenever I needed to.
That's a nice mechanism. I like that, especially for that age group. But yeah, I'm interested. I think there's a new age of virtual D&D.
I still haven't read any of the. Oh, there we go. There's Chris.
Wait,
He's taking over.
Wait.
Oh,
There you go.
that's one of Carol's tigers, Rob.
That's one of Carol's tigers.
Is that the section of fence you bought to cage that beautiful animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll notice that the tiger is eating an animal, most likely a human.
Rabbit?
A rabbit.
Yeah, there was a big deal about it because they were clubbing the rabbit.
Yep. Because they had Joe Exotic dressed up in a rabbit suit covered in blood, like protesting in front of Carol's place.
Yeah. Yep, good times.
Yep.
Killing me. Absolutely killing me.
Don't worry, dude. It gets worse. Just watch the show. You'll really feel horrible.
Oh,
Other than Franny had short hair.
Of that tortured animal.
Oh no, we thought they were not being tortured. We thought they were being cared for. I mean, these are big enclosures.
Wah, wah, wah.
All
right, folks. We've crossed the 30-minute mark. What do we have left on the agenda? Anything fun? Everybody stay safe. Everybody washing their hands. I found a half a pound of espresso beans that I didn't know that I have, so I can last another 4 days without death.
All right.
That's good. Right? Not dying is good.
Yeah.
I'm looking through these photos. Oh, my kids are so cute back then. They're so cute, but they're young.
All right, folks.
Yeah. You guys take care and be safe.
All right, folks.
All right, everyone. I'll see you later.
All right, guys. This has been episode 429 of Geeks in Space, an uninterrupted podcast running now for 2 decades. I'm Rob Commander Tacomalda, and I would like to thank my guests today, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye. Don't torture cats.
Chris DeBona.
Don't feed people to cats.
and our special guest, Dr. Professor Cliff Lampe.
Please check out my SoundCloud.
And don't forget our Patreon. What other things are we supposed to plug? Is there anything else?
Your GoFundMe.
Yeah, there we go. Our GoFundMe, otherwise known as America's Next Generation Healthcare System.
Healthcare.
Yay! Bye, internet.